is it?
First moment alone.
What does Joel do?
Time for bed.
Takes a nap.
I'm tired.
What are you doing?
Killing time.
I do really like this scene.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I am sure you will figure that out.
It's a great moment.
It's another one of those moments too where it's like it just feels like Joel is just always exhausted, like this world is just bearing down on him.
But I love that moment too, where she points out the watch, where we get to establish that watch that.
Yeah, and
Sarah
that's something
gave
we
me.
didn't have in the beginning. That's actually something we inserted after the fact. Not for this scene, but there's another scene where we have that.
But I also love, like you said, the kind of the juxtaposition between Joel and Ellie, to where Joel's just, like you said, weary and exhausted, and you have this total opposite, almost antithetical thing of like this naivete and this childlike behavior that's wanting to explore. And it
here
shows up in this.
she's talking about having bad dreams, like the idea that they are both carrying this baggage with them, and it's how they first connect.
Look how dark it is. Can't be any worse out there. Can it?
What on earth do the Fireflies want with you?
Hey, sorry it took so long. Soldiers fucking everywhere.
How's Marlene?
What a great moment. He finally addresses her, finally connects on that level, and that moment's interrupted.
Well, it's also the first time kind of Ellie, if you think about it, opens up to him. She's saying, I'm scared, right? That was the subtext of that question.
That's true.
Go get some guns.
All right. Now watch your step as you're going out, because it's going to be a little...
Little brat.
I love the dynamics of this scene where it's like Tess has this secret, right? She's bitten. She's not telling Joel or anybody yet. Joel here for the first, again, he's connected. He can't help it.
Oh, is that everything you hope?
It's the first time he's like saying something semi-nice to Ellie.
But there's still this layer of cynicism behind it.
Can't deny that view.
Come on, this way.
But he gets taken away by that childlike wonder. And this is something we added after the fact, the watch. The watch wasn't, we didn't have the watch at the time.
Yeah.
And Joel was just crossing his arms, and I asked the animators to like, oh, could you just flip his wrist and have him look at the watch?
Yeah.
This moment is reminding him of Sarah.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that it's almost a warning from Tess to Joel, like kind of like last words.
It's like this determination, and you're not sure why. What's
Yeah.
different now, Tess? Like how I don't remember if we talked about this, but Ellie has just this, clearly a problem with authority, where somebody's telling her what to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think that also, I have a problem with authority. So that came out a little bit in Ellie.
Tess. I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's going to play out. You don't bring up Tess.
Yeah, that's so. Joel knows what he needs to do to survive, which is just let go. Needs to let go fast of these things, or they will kill you.
Don't tell anybody about your condition. They
That's
think you're
great.
crazy little
I love that he refers to
And lastly, you
to
do
that as her
Condition.
what I say.
He can very acknowledge. Just
We're
he's still
trying to search for the term for it. You being the whole cure for humanity thing.
Good.
I love that he
Close
says
enough.
good, but the subtext is clearly like, all right, good enough.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna get out of this kid.
Good chance he could get us a car.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
This theme comes in here because to show Joel's now alone with Ellie, but the relationship has changed. This is starting to become that theme we heard in the beginning with Sarah. Now we're getting into the first scene we ever shot, and this is your guys' edition right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the first audition scene when I came in,
Okay.
when I read for you guys, along with another scene that I don't know if it's in the game or it
It's not in
probably
the game.
changed a little
It's
bit.
like the scene with the Walkman.
Yeah, the scene with the Walkman.
There's a
Yeah.
scene. There was the scene kind of like it, but it's
Where did you
pretty
get
different.
Bag of bills. I mean, all this stuff was just lying there.
that? What else did you get?
Well, and I especially love this because, especially at this point, we had no idea
Here.
who Bill really was.
You know, is actually before my...
How many times do we come back to this scene? Like at least 3 times.
Yeah, at least 3 times. I love what she says. I was like, hey, you know who this is? And the different versions of songs that we ran through with this too is great.
I'm sure your friend will be missing this tonight.
That's
like-
the guy on the cover is John Sweeney, one of our concept artists.
That's awesome.
How the hell would he even walk
Is the centerfold also his penis?
We should have that unlockable. You could see what she's looking at.
Yeah. Get your subscription to Bearskin Magazine today.
I'm just fucking with you.
And the awkwardness of that moment.
But it's also such a great moment of levity between the two of them.
I don't know, that's kind of a way of her complimenting him or trying to bond with him.
Yeah.
And it's something I was very conscious of when like writing this stuff. It was like, this is making me uncomfortable here on the page. I have to leave it as is.
Yeah. That's your litmus test.
I'm tired.
I love that. Not even tired. Cut to passed out. This is the first scene, because it was part of that reveal trailer. It's the first scene that I ever saw put together fully, and I was just absolutely blown away how good it looked. It was the first time I'd actually seen, real flesh and bone put on Joel and Ellie.
And the yawn we added after the fact.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Because we were like, she doesn't have a yawn. She should have a yawn when she wakes up. And then you were yawning on the set, and we're all yawning because it's contagious.
I know, just watching that, I just yawned. I tried to be quiet about it.
I love that this moment of silence and kind of peacefulness is broken up by this.
Joel knows this trick.
What about the guy?
He knows it because he's done this before.
Right. Poor John Bentley. And I love, again, how that music is playing not as a score, but coming from the car. It's just great.
I believe that was Ruben that we hit and
Yeah,
had
that
him
was
fly,
Ruben.
fly off the truck like that. This was also the first really dramatic scene we shot, and it became kind of the touchstone for how the characters should look when they're
I feel sick.
really pushed.
It's so interesting when she's, again, it's this moment of vulnerability when she says, I feel sick, and Joel's,
Glad I didn't, right?
again, being very didactic and pushing her away.
Goddamn kid.
She stands up for herself. This is the first time she stood up for herself.
How about, hey, Ellie, I know it wasn't easy, but it was either him or me.
And I love that line,
For saving my ass.
it's either him or me.
Anything like that
Come
for
back
me,
to that.
And he can't do it. He can't admit that she saved his life.
Lead the way.
This is, in the story, the first time Joel really is trusting Ellie and seeing her as pretty much an equal to him. That he has to rely on her to survive in this world.
This is
survive
one of the
this journey.
first cinematics that we saw too, and we just,
Yeah.
it's still one of our favorites. We keep coming back to it and laughing because I love this exchange between the two of them.
What about me?
You stay here.
This is so stupid. We'd have more of a fucking chance if you let me help.
I am. You seem to know your way around a gun. You reckon you can handle that?
Well, I sort of shot a rifle before.
He's like, shit, rats, that's it? Fuck.
BBs.
I love that line. Oh, shit, here's what we gotta work with.
We usually avoid these kind of cameras that rotate around something that are trying to do too much, but it felt like this moment kind of needed it.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
a weird parent-kid moment.
Yeah.
As soon as you fire,
He's teaching her how to shoot to kill.
Get another round in there quick. Listen to me. If I get into trouble,
There's a really nice,
every
when I watched like Ellie's performance, this balance between she's trying to be a hard ass, but you could see in her eyes she's kind of terrified of the situation.
Yeah.
But even in this, there's almost a little bit of excitement there too. Either whether it's about the reality of her killing isn't real, or if it's just, I have an opportunity to make Joel proud.
Opening up, opening up.
You're welcome.
Such an interesting look on your face here, because it's almost like I did good, but then you feel horrified by it. So interesting.
It's like, even though Ellie's used to killing, used to seeing this stuff in this world, it was still important to show this is having an effect on her.
Right.
And you're going to see that kind of carry throughout the game.
Well, it also kind of carries over into this moment as well, too, because I realized what I just put her through. I love the way that, you know, we took that away from her. It's like almost gingerly. It's like, give me that.
It's like you can't really compliment it because
Right. You did
just what
good.
you
Yeah,
have-
there's no
yeah.
pat on the back. But then I turn around and I give her this, and it's like you said, there's a sadness to it.
Yeah, it's sad that in this world, these are the things that you have to bond over. Like, here's your gun.
And that's the reward.
Yeah.
But that knot of understanding is great.
This is probably my favorite scene.
What a long day this was.
About boys, movies, deciding which.
I honestly think this is one of the best scenes that you wrote, Neil,
It's bizarre.
Get up.
because it says so much about this world
I
and
say no.
especially Ellie, where she's at, and realizing how different and how much of a chasm there is between this world and that.
I agree.
Goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want?
I think I really like about this scene is that
Rid of me the whole time.
they're both kind of, I guess, being selfish in a way. And yet it's coming from a place because they really care about each other. Like they don't understand that they both have been through horrible things. And they each think what they've been through has been worse.
That I'm gonna end up like Sam.
I love that she calls him
can't
out
be
on that.
infected.
What are you so afraid
Take
of?
care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
And it's like the stakes are high and it's like, okay, well, then I'm going to drop this bomb. I'm not her.
Mighty thin ice here.
It's like, how many years has it probably been for Joel since he even like
Don't bring
thought
up
about
that
it,
name.
mentioned it?
You have no idea what loss is.
I think Joel's thought of that name every day, but I don't think he's heard it said.
Has either died or
That
left.
shove that you gave that was nowhere in the script.
Fucking except for you.
I think that came out of frustration, definitely, because when we had come back and we couldn't find it, and I wasn't necessarily frustrated with you, I was frustrated with us in the scene, and I was like, oh, fuck.
It's so cold of Joel to do this. And I've had people on the team ask me to remove this part, that he's being too cold. And I'm like, no, it's like, because she's being so vulnerable and he's having these feelings, he's trying to shut it down. That's why he's being so cold. It was so important for me to keep that in there.
When he says, "You're not my daughter," it's almost an insult.
And it's kind of the opposite of what he's feeling.
This scene was such a great opportunity to show even just like all these mini arcs with characters. You know, we don't have a lot of time, and we're not gonna. We can only tell Joel and Ellie's story. We can't go into such detail with Bill and Tommy and Tess and Marlene. But you get this great resolution between these brothers because you get the full arc of it in just a short amount of time.
It's like the way I approached it is the seed has been planted. Like when she says, I'll just be more scared, that Joel just needs time. And in time, he will change his mind because he doesn't want any, deep down, he doesn't want anything that will hurt Ellie or. So over there, the idea is just this little horse riding montages. That change is brewing. And Gustavo's music doesn't hurt.
What's so great about how this plays out is there's really nothing happening but just this passage of time.
That used to be a level that you played through. And just during production cuts, we changed it. So it actually worked out better. It just became this idyllic idea that you never fully reach. You just see it from the outside.
Where is this lab of theirs?
It's all the way out, University of Eastern Colorado.
Pointing out this moment that there was probably a time when these two used to watch college football together, you know, and calling out. It's like, hey, go Bighorns, you know. For our college that we made up. I want one of their T-shirts so bad. University East Colorado, because Colorado is such a big state.
I don't want her coming after me.
Sorry for stealing your horse.
Well, come back to town. Let's discuss it at least.
You know me, my mind's all made up. University, Eastern Colorado. How do I find this lab?
It's in the science building. Looks like a giant mirror. You can't miss it.
And the idea of offering Joel a place of refuge, a place of redemption.
Well, and originally we had some, I think there was a line that I threw in there or something. It was like maybe someday or something. It was just too on the nose. We ended up saying we don't need that.
Yeah.
This needs to be a.
The look is enough.
Well, and the offer to me is enough.
Mm-hmm. For me, is what I wanted from this is not to overplay it, not to like have Ellie cry or scream or.
Shit. Joel, here.
There's probably a lot of panic that happened between this moment and the next.
Well, and what a
Not
great,
seeing.
what a great line too. You got to tell me what to do. When almost the entire game she said, "Don't tell me what to do."
And here is where we've been lying to everybody when we've been saying you don't play as Ellie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Asked point blank. Do you play as Ellie?
No.
I know.
In this moment, a lot of this project and the story has been constructed around this moment, which is where the roles flip, where now it's Ellie that has to protect Joel and essentially bring him back to life.
Bye-bye, Bunny.
It's a pretty cool reveal too. To pan up.
And
And there's Ellie as the hunter.
what we wanted here is also is like, you don't know exactly what happened to Joel, what's the state, how much time has passed.
Poor buddy.
But the way that she's doing that, you can see that she's been doing this for a while.
You'll just startle it.
So interesting from watching this, though, I would completely believe David. I'd follow the guy. It's crazy.
It's because you're a cannibal. This little moment, this breath before going to see what's downstairs. And again, for players, it would have been like a while now since they've seen Joel.
Joel?
Once again, Joel's asleep.
I only managed to get a little bit of food.
I love how these roles have switched, too. Where now it's,
I did get this.
the protected taking care of the protector.
Move your arm.
It used to be open, and then we're like, we should probably stitch that
It
up.
was also on the other side. We had to come back and reshoot it, too. Oh, continuity.
Actually, this one I remember we shot this one again because this is going Naughty Dog method. Everybody can like say the 2 cents. Amy Puckett, one of our coordinators, said, "Where's Ellie's backpack?" And we shot it without thinking about Ellie's backpack. And it was like, oh, we should bring it back in and use it as a pillow.
right.
It's like such a cool little touch.
You're gonna make it.
Yeah, those shivering things was pretty cool.
The towel thing, right? He was able to
Let's
do
see,
that.
you did that.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
but
he
it's still-
obviously he animated it, but
A great moment of them falling asleep next to each other, too. Again, her watching over him. To me, you really get a sense of the oppressiveness of the world with all the introduction with all of these different kinds of enemies. It's like you feel like you're fighting this multi-front battle. It's not just these are the bad guys, and it's so clear.
Away from here. I'll come back for you.
yeah, and just how much Ellie's now willing to put herself on the line to just get them away from Joel. You were beating the shit out of that foam pad. I don't know what you were channeling.
I have a lot of anger.
Fucking touch me!
It's me.
We did very few takes of this. This was like maybe 3 takes.
Yeah.
It just felt like so intense with each one. It was like, yeah, we got it. That's enough.
It's the first time that, Ellie and Joel, like, embraces that physical contact.
Yeah.
And it's such a great choice, I think, for you to the dialogue wasn't important.
Yeah, it was just a gesture. So it was like, just let the music take over, and it's the same theme from when, you know, his daughter dies. This was the scene where you get the most emotional. You almost cried in this scene.
Oh, that's right.
We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
First time Joel questions the whole idea of this mission.
But in a different way, though. Before it was, why am I wasting my time doing this? And now I'm saying, maybe that's not what we need. Maybe that's not the
Maybe it's
answer.
not worth it.
Well, yeah, it's not worth it. But I love that this comes off of what you said was one of your favorite moments, which was the moments
giraffe
with the giraffe
sequence.
sequence.
That fleeting moment where Ellie gets to be a kid one last time after the whole David sequence.
And how you even played that visually with, you just kind of catch the very last end of the giraffes moving there. So here we go.
This scene used to originally be all in the operating room. And Joel wasn't carrying Ellie. He killed Marlene and the doctors in the operating room. And then Peter Field, designer, just kept bugging me. He's like, I feel like we have to play this part. It's, you know, you have to carry Ellie out yourself. It can't just be like hinted at. And we ended up switching the whole structure of this thing. He was right. It was like, it worked way better.
That was another one of those moments where we're like, we're done, we've got it. No, we don't.
As a cinematic, it was I thought it was perfect. But as a bigger part of the game, it was weaker than letting you play through some of it.
She won't feel anything.
Again, the only hesitation Joel has is that this is what Ellie wants.
And it's such a great decision to show, just cut to this, give the audience, the player, just one last moment of, well, what did he choose? Just to sit in that decision.
It was also important to show the lie against the reality, because the lie has so much weight here at the end. Throughout the game, Joel has never lied to Ellie. He might have disagreed or he might have dismissed her, but he's never outright lied to her.
What happened?
And for me, this was the moment I decided to lie.
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that
To me, it hurt to say these things.
ain't done him a damn bit of good neither.
Because once Ellie started believing that I actually had something, that I was someone, you're basically telling Ellie, you're not special, you're not important, and everything you've done was for nothing.
I'm taking us home.
Yeah, in the first few versions of the scenes, there was like Ellie had all these questions like,
Sorry.
what happened? Why? Who was there? Why would they let you take me out with the gown still on? And it just was better if she said nothing, and she just turned her back to him. And again, just to show how far Joel's willing to go to remove any threat for Ellie.
I mean, we had talked about this before where, you know, she obviously has that bullshit detector.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I knew you were lying. You know, I feel like Ellie knows you're lying.
Go to the end. So, original ending for this, way back when we put the outline for the story together, is that Ellie believed the lie, and they went off to Tommy's, and it was kind of like this wide tracking shot as you see them kind of getting smaller and smaller, walking off to Tommy's. But as we went through the story, and the characters got more and more developed, it's like it didn't feel honest. It didn't feel like Ellie would buy into all of it.
And she got bit too. You didn't know what to do.
Remember, we went over and over and over this scene. And little things changed. But every time I sat and watched you tell this story, I was just raptured by it. It was so easy to listen to you tell this story.
I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And no matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me.
Interesting hearing arguments around the office about how people interpret that last line, that last okay from Ellie. Whether it's okay, I believe you, or okay, I could put this behind us, or okay, I don't trust you anymore and it's over.